Question. On September 30th, 2018, after paying respect to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the statue of Guanyin Bodhisattva radiated a brilliant light. Not long after, the Bodhisattva sent a thought to me. I will take you to observe the scenes of hell, so that the sentient beings of the human realm will understand the law of karma, and refrain from performing filthy acts. Sexual desires breed evil. Nowadays, men and women are sinking so low in pursuit of lustful satisfaction, but in the future they will descend into the lower realms. It will be too late for regrets then. The hell of icy coldness. The hell of snowy mountains. Men and women who commit deeds of sexual misconduct, those who have affairs and those who are promiscuous, will be punished here. Snow dances in the sky as the air dips below freezing, while an icy cold wind bellows and howls. In this hell there are 2 or 3 massive snow-covered mountains, and a thick pile of snow has accumulated on the ground. In the distance, an enforcement officer holding a whip follows a group of offenders. The men and women, all naked, have their hands and feet cuffed with iron chains. At the front of the group, another enforcement officer drags them forward forcefully. When a tired offender is unwilling to walk any further, the enforcement officer at the back uses his whip to lash them. In this hell so cold that every offender's lips are cracked and split, the offenders tremble profusely. The knee-deep snow makes it almost impossible for them to trudge forwards in the blistering cold. The snowy mountain is nothing short of gigantic, and after a very long journey, the offenders finally reach a guarded bridge. When their punishment is over, the offenders will be let out of this hell from this very point. But if their punishment term is not over, the offenders will be taken away by the enforcement officer and forced to continue walking until it is. At the front of the bridge, the guard speaks to me telepathically, communicating. The female offender at the front had several affairs. That male offender was promiscuous before he married, having sexual relationships with a handful of people. Another female offender, right there, took advantage of her charms and acted promiscuously with many boyfriends, showing not a single concern for her body. When they died, they were all sent to this hell. The more severe cases of sexual misconduct were transferred to the other great hells, the hell of excrement, the hell of copper pillars, and the hell of iron bed. Too many modern-day men and women no longer have any sense of shame. They think promiscuity is trendy and a value to strive for in the modern age. I cannot even imagine how many more souls will be sent here in the future. The people in the human realm are simply too reckless. The hell of icy coldness, the hell of icicles. Women who commit deeds of sexual misconduct, those who have affairs and those who are promiscuous will be punished here. The air here is also extremely cold and piercing. Inside a large cavern, icicles, each 3 to 5 centimeters long, and scattered throughout, form upwards from the ground. I can see multiple female offenders kneeling on the ground, their faces twisted in pain and their hands tied behind their backs. An enforcement officer tells me, this is the hell of icicles. It's used primarily to punish those who acted promiscuously in the human realm. He then turns to a female offender and ordered her to stand. Seeing her makes me jump in fright. The lower part of her body is covered completely in blood while her knees are littered with open wounds. I'm shocked when I realize that it was an icicle upon which she had been kneeling. The piercing of her entire lower body is her punishment. Her knees have been sliced open by other jagged icicles too. No wonder she is in such excruciating pain. Every female offender here has acted promiscuously, such as regular one-night stands or promiscuous alcohol-fueled outings to nightclubs. After death, they were transferred here to be punished for the full term of their sentence. The hell of iron mountains. Women who commit deeds of sexual misconduct and perform abortions, and men who act promiscuously or instigate women to perform abortions will be punished here. The environment in this hell is very dark and overshadowed by many enormous iron mountains. I hear the distant cries of infants, and when I move closer, what I find makes me jump. The sky is filled with a countless number of floating baby spirits, all full of resentment. You can tell that the practice of abortion is common in the human realm. The mountains are covered in many iron trees, while on the ground awaits a cover of countless and minuscule iron spikes. Razor-sharp spikes also grow out of the iron trees. I see an enforcement officer in pursuit of a group of offenders who are being continually lashed with a whip as they are forced up the iron mountain. The offenders are all wailing as the bottoms of their blood-colored feet are constantly and repeatedly pierced by the sharp spikes. Some offenders, overcome with the pain and no longer able to stand, try to hold on to trees for support, but their hands are also bloodied and pierced by the sharp spikes that grow out of them. Every offender is forced up the mountain, one excruciating step at a time, only to be forced to traipse back down again. It's unbearable to watch. The enforcement officers show no leniency. If the offenders stop moving, they are immediately lashed. So they go up and come down the iron mountain over and over again until they have served the full term of their sentence. Only then may they leave this hell. Why is the punishment for abortion so great, and especially for those who intended to abort their child? It's because the spirit of the baby has no other choice other than to occupy their mother's body after they are aborted. This leads to great suffering for their parents, like gynecological diseases, depression, and shortened lifespan. When their mother dies, they each will go their separate ways according to their karmic conditions. Some parents are reborn in the human realm, the animal realm, or the hell realm, while the baby spirits have no one to help them ascend spiritually to a better realm. Therefore, they are transferred to the hell of iron mountains, where they are left to roam and cry until the courts of the underworld have finally arranged their rebirth. That's why the punishment for those who commit sexual misconduct and abortions is so severe. If these offenders recited the Buddha's name and sincerely repented while they were still alive, they would be reborn as humans. Even though the negative karma that has been created cannot be completely eliminated. It means the majority of the offenders here will be reborn to serve their time in the animal realm. May I ask Master whether these scenes of hell are real? Master Jun Hong Lu replied, "They are all real. Nowadays, when I see people, both men and women, behaving like animals, I feel great sadness. You really must inform them." In the past, there was a movie called Mistress Xianglin, which is about a woman who married 3 times but ultimately suffered a great tragedy and died. She had to go to the underworld and donate a dorsal to eliminate her sin of marrying 3 times. Sexual misconduct really is like playing with fire. It's the worst of all unwholesome deeds. When you're being chased in your dream, don't you feel scared? When you're being tortured in your dream, does it hurt? After you die, it will be just like the dream and very painful. If you are still not willing to reform your ways after learning Buddhism, you are really asking for it.